From the 15th through to the 19th of March, we have The Osmonds, the musical, a new musical that's just had its world premiere. It's arriving at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre, and I'm joined now by the boys who are doing their thing on stage as one of the biggest boy bands in the world ever. Hello, lads.
Hello.
Right, so I've got to remember all the names. We've got Alex, Ryan, Jamie, Joseph, and Danny. Is that about right?
That's right.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Right, okay, so let's run round the list and get full details from each of you on who you are and which is the biggest moment in the show for you to start off with. And we'll begin with Danny, who's just coming to the end of a bit of a self-isolation period due to the old COVID. So, Danny, you're up first. Tell us more.
So I'm Danny. I play Wayne. Probably my favourite moment of playing Wayne is when I sing Rain In. I've got a song in the second act, which is a lovely, heartfelt ballad. And I feel like it really encapsulates... Oh, is that even a word? It really captures what my character's going throughout the story, and it really sort of brings my story character arc to a close. So that's a really nice moment for my character. Yeah.
Okay, Ryan.
I'm Ryan. I play Meryl, and one of my highlights of the show is probably a moment towards the end when it kind of, my character specifically goes on this kind of mental down points and then gets brought up by the brothers and kind of goes on this journey of like always seeking for something more, you know? And then at the end, when all the brothers kind of come together and Grit folds together, that's kind of a highlight for me.
It is a bit of an emotional roller coaster. You are following the family story. And like any family in the public eye, it does make it hard work. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a short while's time. Meanwhile, Joseph, let's go with you and your character, please.
Hello, I'm Joseph, and I played Donnie. And I think, obviously, there is so many moments in the show where we like share lovely moments as brothers, but I think for me personally, it's singing Puppy Love. I think it's just, I didn't quite realize how the reaction was going to be from the audience when I sing this song, but it's just been insane. Banners come out, hats come out, people are standing up. Apparently someone had a pair of knickers in their hand the other day that they were going to throw, so that would have been fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that moment for me is quite special.
Okie dokie. Alex, you're next.
I'm Alex. I play Jay, and my favourite bit is the end when we all wave and say goodbye. We've done the job. No, I'd say... Actually, you know what? To be fair, going with that, I'd say at the end of the show, the last 20 minutes of the show are kind of a big concert, a big party, really. And we kick it like with Love Me for a Reason. We go into He's My Brother. We go into Crazy Horses. We go into Lazy River. We do this lovely kind of moment where we all feel a bit like rock stars.
Yeah.
And the moment that Crazy Horses intro kicks off, the place absolutely falls apart. And to have the reactions we've had to the show so far, it's just been absolutely incredible. So I'd say for me, the last 20 minutes of the show, you've been working for the last 2 hours to get to this moment where it all comes back together, and we give the people what they want in that bit, I think, and we love giving them what they want.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Jamie, tell us about you.
So I'm Jamie. I'm playing Alan Osmond. And yeah, my favourite part is similar to Alex, but at the end of the show, but probably going from the scene where we kind of see Alan and Jay rekindle. They apologise and they kind of make up for some of the more emotional parts of the show, and that for me is quite it's quite a roller coaster from what Alan's been through in the start of the show and to get to the end and for them to clear it up and to really feel that kind of like special bond again between the brothers, and then to go into Love Me for a Reason and sing that when you feel all unified and together is pretty special. So yeah.
And this is amazing because it is official as well. Jay's been working with you on this, and it must be awesome actually getting basically source material on each of the characters.
Yeah, it's great in a way to, especially as an actor for me, playing the person whose life story you're telling. It makes it that there's a great deal of responsibility and pressure there when they're sat in the room in front of you, but it's also like an encyclopedia of knowledge about their life. So instead of going as a character or as an actor, like, what would my character do? What would my character feel? How would they do in this? Just go and ask him. Yeah, Jay, what do you think about this? How did this work? Oh, great, I'll do that then.
But I mean, you are creating the music of the Osmonds, and I know all of you have worked extensively in theatre in some way. There's TV, there's film roles in all of your back catalogues. If we look at the number of lines you guys have got when it comes to CV, it runs into something as long as your arm. But bringing that experience to this role and getting to perform these songs by, as we said, one of the biggest boy bands in the world ever, and one of the original big boy bands in the world ever, that must be in itself not only a challenge but jolly good fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty special. I mean, to stand there, unlike these guys, I haven't got a back catalogue of theatre. This is my debut, so it's quite special to be able to stand there and have this as a debut and be able to perform to those. I don't think any of us understood what level of love we were going to get from the fans, and it was important to us to make sure over anything else that we made sure that we made the fans happy over anybody else, and it seems like we are, and all the feedback we've had is that they're loving it. So to see them on their feet every night screaming, it just makes us realize how massive the Osmonds were and how loved they were. And it's a special feeling to be able to like honor them and do that and perform as them.
Yeah, and I mean, Danny, we're leaving you out a little bit because you can't get a word in edgeways with these guys who are all at the theatre at the minute.
There's a slight delay in everything, so I'm like, do I go, do I not?
No, it is difficult when you are the remote one. But I mean, there were times when that was what it was like in the Osmonds. It was one of them who was a bit remote, and they sort of came back into the fold. And I mean, what's it like? Because you've got to behave like brothers. So has there been any brotherly japes been played on each other during rehearsal?
It's actually been quite funny because we met each other a little bit before the process started, and we had like a day to like start singing the songs. And I think it was crazy how quickly we all got on. And I think we are literally like brothers in a way.
Yeah.
We literally are, and we know a lot about each other now. And it's been so special to have such a connection with these four boys, and it's been brilliant.
Okay, let's go around the table then. I want from each of you. I want a random fact about one of the others that sort of cements the friendship. So everything broadcastable, please. Danny, you can go first. Go on, name and shame. What fact would you pick up on any of the other boys?
Yeah, I was gonna,
Things that we can say before the watershed.
I don't know.
That's a hard
Cruel or kind? Anything at all? Who's your favourite then?
I did.
Make it easier.
Well, I mean, when I met Joey, he was a lot smaller than I thought he would be. No, I don't know. I mean, I guess what, because we were all quite new to each other, weren't we? We all didn't know each other beforehand. However, Jamie and Alex did know each other. So that was quite interesting, figuring out what our dynamic was like as a five when a few of us already knew each other or knew of each other. Same with Ryan and Alex, actually, because they'd done a few shows together. Whereas I knew of people but didn't really know anyone.
You basically stalked them on Instagram, and that was about as far as it went.
Yeah, exactly. So you sort of, you meet people through the audition process and things like that. But as Joey was saying, it was nice to, how quickly we all got on really well. And it was like I'd known them all for ages. And, the longer we spend with each other, the closer we're getting and the more fun we're having. So I'm sure there'll be more brotherly tricks played on each other throughout the contract.
So, Alex, have you got any goss on Jamie then?
Well, I've known Jamie since he was about 13 years old, singing, was it Dance With Me Tonight by Ollie Murs in a local talent show?
My name is Jamie.
Nice to meet you again, I tell you, baby. So one video that will come out, and me and Ryan have this fourth job we've done together. And Ryan has a very specific vocal warm-up that he does before every single show, where certain noises come out of this man that are not human noises. And it sounds like there's a bit of an exorcism going on. But then he goes out on stage and this walloping rock star god of a voice comes out of the man.
And we all go, maybe we should warm up.
Maybe
like
we
that.
should be making those noises
Does it
anyway.
annoy you boys myself?
No, we just hear you from about 4 miles away.
We were when we performed on Dancing with the Stars the other day. They were all dancing. They were obviously, we were kind of backstage, and they were doing some of the practicing and everything and recording. And I was down at one end of this massive studio going to the toilet, and from the other end, I can hear, yay! Like, shoot, and I'm going, they're filming, and Ryan's just like, he just doesn't care. He's like, "Way!"
But whatever it is he does, it works
works.
miracles.
Yeah.
My word, the noise that comes out of this man when a microphone's in front of him and there's music, it's one of those voices that has to be heard to be believed.
I think we'll give Ryan the chance to name and shame after the grief he's got there. Ryan, come on. A story about one of the boys.
So I think I balance out the testosterone of these boys at least 50%. They are the most cheekiest bunch of lads I've ever met. And I love it. There's nothing in particular that I can say.
Not publicly anyway.
Yeah, without having to go beep, beep, beep. But all I will say is that they are the cheekiest bunch of boys I've ever met.
And I'll also go as far to say that he's possibly one of the cheekiest boys.
So we've worked out that you get on well. It's a good atmosphere. It's going to be awesome, and you bring that to the stage as well. And I think that's again another important part of it. I mean, it's been an extensive rehearsal process because this has to be right. It is the official story of the Osmonds, and it's a chance to share with the world. And who knows where this is going to go next? I mean, you're already touring nationally. Anything can happen from here, can't it?
I think that's the hope. You know, the show is still very much in its infancy, and if you look at new shows in the States, you know, you'd try it out of town for 3-4 months before you'd even look at going to somewhere bigger like Broadway, and then you'd even go into previews there as well. So we're, you know, very much at the early stages of something. But if the audience reaction is anything to go by and the interest in the piece so far, it's that we think we could really be onto something really special here, and it tells the story behind the smiles of, you know, this incredible family that have survived 60 years in show business, and that there's so much interest and intrigue to that with this great back catalogue of songs. And I think, you know, we all felt the responsibility coming in to represent them well, because, you know, we don't look like them, we aren't them as such. We're not really going for looky likes in like a tribute show, but honoring them and their spirit has been integral to all of us in this process, and to the writers, to Sean and Julian, throughout, to everyone involved. It's honoring the spirit of the family and what they're about, whilst sharing their story with the world. It's almost like a living memoir, rather than like an autobiography on the page. It's kind of a really special thing to see people react to as well. I think it's the audience reaction to what have just blown us all away so far. So yeah, going back to your original point on that, is let's hope the sky's the limit for it. If people keep loving it and keep wanting to see it and keep buying tickets, then hopefully I'll still be playing Jay Osmond when I'm 42.
Which would be amazing. But I mean, the other amazing thing is the costumes. Some of the outfits that the guys wore when they were doing this back in the day, you have recreated. And you've probably never seen so much nylon or man-made materials in your life, have you?
No, it's pretty crazy. Some of the costumes we've got, I mean, and the changes as well. I mean, the costume changes, it's as if we're doing magic, I think, for the people watching it, because we go off stage and about 5 seconds later we come on in a completely different costume, and none of it's layered. We're all just going mental.
That are not easy to get into either.
Yeah, and it's all poppered shirts and like tight flares and things, but it looks, the costume design and the stage design looks incredible, and the way they've set it all up and the way they've used, because obviously the Osmonds all had their colours, and so we all have our colour as one of the Osmond brothers, and they've tried to make our costumes, whatever it is, whether it's day wear or whether it's our big performance wear in the one pieces, everything has our colour going through it, which is really interesting because it helps people. I mean, in those weeks, unless we're constantly saying names, you might forget which one's which. So with the colours, it helps people to keep that, to keep a reminder of who is who, and to remember that as it goes through the show. But they've done such a good job with the costumes, and they really do look amazing in the lights and everything. It really is, incredible work.
And of course, I mean, Donny is the Osmond that people would maybe go to first. I mean, that must be fun to have that. But do we get Osmond envy then based on that, or are you all enjoying the show together?
Oh no, I don't think so really.
It's been a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
You go to the stage door, and some people are like, my favourite's Wayne, my favourite's Jake. Like, it really does. It changes. I don't think I've met.
Between us, that's what.
That's
why
is that what you
saying.
meant?
No, I don't know.
I don't think
right.
we get. I don't think there's envy, because I think the nice thing about the show is that even though it's written by Jay, everybody has their own story, and each person has something to tell and some sort of arc that they have to work towards.
It's about the five.
Yeah,
it's about all five brothers equally, and a story of brotherhood, rather than it being about one being the star, one being the lead vocalist, one being whatever. It's about the group and all of that within the group.
Yeah.
And I think, again, you said some people might be coming to the show thinking it's Donny Osmond the musical.
I mean, that is the like, you do see just in the distance banners of Donny Osmond in the audience.
Some people have Donny
people's
faces
faces
last night, like,
and purple hats. I mean, there is a sway towards
it's
Donny
amazing.
and the
A
audience.
slight sweat.
Yeah.
It's great, like with the envy thing. I don't think we feel that at all, because I don't know about you boys, but watching Joe do Puppy Love, I'm watching his reaction to the crowd. So it's like, and as well, because we spend so much time with each other on stage. When we're on stage together. We're living each other's moments through each other. So I feel like we all experience it, even though we're all playing different characters, which is nice.
This one can move.
Yeah.
He's got the,
No one
he's
can
got the
sing and
best.
move.
He's got the best grooves you'll ever see.
Can we have a little demonstration?
Come on, up you get.
Go on, give us.
Do you want to see the purple Crocs as well?
Oh, that is quality. And matching socks.
Yeah.
Look at him go. Chuck some disco music to that. You are away. It's going to drive everybody wild. It is the Osmonds musical. It is at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 15th through to the 19th of March. 01902 429212 is the box office number. grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets. Come along, see the boys in action. They're going to be bringing the Osmonds music to life, telling a story, and basically having a blooming good time as they do it by the looks of things. You're a fantastic gang. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the show in Wolverhampton in March.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.